Hello, River of Life family. It's good to see you again. We want to get some announcements out to you, including the big announcement about when we will be welcoming you back into church. I've been emphasizing that we're not reopening the church. The church has remained open, but we want to welcome each other back in as we see each other and worship together. So a couple of announcements before that. The first, we hope that you have signed up for Bible study. Bible study will start next week on Wednesday and Thursday, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, study by Dr. Tony Evans, and that's going to be led by Chris Waddell and myself are going to lead one night, and then Brandon Mason and Kirsten Summers are going to lead another night. So we're excited about that. The link will be in the email with this video link, and so you can sign up there. The second is we're going to be making an adjustment to our prayer schedule going forward starting next week because Bible study will be on Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to have prayer on Monday night. So Monday night on Zoom will be on prayer, and then Friday morning, Ed's prayer time that he's kind of been leading for a couple of years will continue at 7:30, and that will be in the same Zoom room as our prayer on Monday night. And then when we open back up on Sunday, we'll resume praying together at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. Regarding welcoming people back in, we want to say a few things up front. We're excited. You're excited. I've heard from you. I've heard your questions. When are we coming back? And we're excited to lay this out, but we want to be thorough on how we lay this out and present it. We want to be careful. We want to be safe. The last thing I ever want to have to do as a pastor, or one of the last things I would ever want to have to do, is make a call that you've been exposed and that we have someone that's contracted the virus. God has been good to us. We have had one person from our church get the virus. That was Jaden, and he is healed and recovered. And so we want to be safe in how we do this, and so we've had to make some hard decisions related to that. We want to say no pressure. There is no pressure to come back. You are not more godly if you come back in the first Sunday as opposed to waiting. You need to come back when you're comfortable. So we want you to be comfortable, and we know that that will be in phases. We want you to know we understand that. This next thing is we want to ask you to make a personal health commitment to us. If you are not feeling well, stay home. We're still going to be live streaming. We're still going to be making that available. Even if it's a cold and you've determined based on your scientific research it's not COVID, we want you to stay home. We want you to be home. We want to protect everyone and honor everyone else. That's why we're going to continue live streaming until everyone feels comfortable. So regarding procedures, and I'm intentionally holding the date till the end, hoping that you'll watch this. Small groups. We want to encourage you. Small groups, get together. Get together outside. Space and distance as much as possible. But we want to encourage you to get together in your groups and have fellowship. Again, we would encourage those to be outside, and that we think is the best practice for now. When you arrive at church on Sunday morning, the doors are going to be propped open. You will not have to touch the doors. You will just be able to walk in all the way into the sanctuary. We are going to have sanitizer available. This is our highly lethal industrial sanitizer that we have purchased, and then we will have these bottles available as well. We'll have stations spread out, and so we want you to use sanitizer as you need to. The bathrooms will be available for use. They will be disinfected, but we want to emphasize that sanitizer will be stationed throughout the church. We will not have children's church. Children's church will not be offered for now, so that's nursery through high school. The nursery will be open for parents who want to take their child in. They may need to calm them down, may need to feed them, or whatever that is. The nursery will be open for that, but there will be no teachers for now, and we're continuing to monitor daycare centers and the schools and what they're doing, and we want to follow that. The next thing we want to say is masks. Now, masks are controversial. Masks are political. I get it. You're weak if you wear it. I've been talking about this in my sermon. Like, it goes on both sides. We are going to ask you to wear a mask while you're here, particularly because we want to be able to worship. Worshiping spreads the virus as much as a cough. Singing does. And so we want to ask you to wear a mask. So we are going to have masks available. We'll have disposable masks. We'll have River of Life masks that Haradi's been generous enough to get for us. And so you will have your choice. You can go fashion, you can go normal, but we want you to wear a mask. You can bring your own. That's fine. But we are going to ask you to do that during our time of worship. And so now we're going to head into the sanctuary where I'll be sharing kind of some practices and procedures for during our worship time. All right, as you can see, we're here in the sanctuary, and so we have removed every other row. so that we can have distance between us, and so there is enough distance between each row. And what we're asking is for you to leave 3 seats between you and the next housing unit. So whether it's roommates who are together or families, that there are 3 seats between you and the next housing unit for us to maintain distance during this time. We will have seating in the big room where the service will be streamed. So again, it gives us an opportunity to still be together. We don't want to have to tell anyone we're at capacity, you can't come in, so we want to open that up. So again, we want to invite you to come. So 3 seats between each family unit or each housing unit, and then there will be seating in there as well. We will not have our Bibles in the chairs just to avoid touching them. If you come without a Bible and need a Bible, we will give you a Bible and you can take that with you. And so you're free to do that. Regarding offering, our servers will walk around and just hold out the offering for you to be able to place your offering in there. We're not going to pass it down the rows. And when we do get to communion on the first Sunday in July, we will take communion, and we're going to order the prepackaged juice and wafer together, so it's all together. And the servers, again, will come around with gloves and will place those in your hands so that you can use them. Big bummer for me, we are not going to be doing the meet and greet for a little while. We're going to hold off on that. And so I know that's always a highlight for me. Some of you are like, yes, thank you. Happy to get rid of that, but we will not have the meet and greet. And furthermore, we're going to ask something that we know is challenging. We're going to ask you not to hug or to shake hands for now. You know, while we're continuing to evaluate this and while we're continuing to go, we're going to ask you not to do that. You can elbow bump, you can kind of distance high five, you know, however it is you want to do that, but we're going to ask you specifically not to do that. We are going to shorten our service length. We're going to shoot for around 50 minutes, hoping we stay under an hour. Last week my sermon was 53 minutes, so that will, we'll have to work with Sundays like that. But we're going to adjust probably our worship time a little bit so that we are not in here longer than we need to be and spreading things around. We're working with different things on how to handle the air conditioner and how to do all of these things so that we are prepared. And then finally, for our dismissal, we are going to block off the front and back entrances of the first row. And when we dismiss, we are going to ask you, you can park there, cars will be parked there, but we don't want cars driving through because we want to dismiss you straight to the lot so that you can talk, so you can catch up, so you can see each other, so you can spend time with each other, but we don't want it to be inside. We want it to be outside so that it's out in the open air because we feel like that is safer. I think I have covered everything, and so except the date. We are hoping to welcome you back on June 21st. So 2 weeks from this Sunday, we are continuing to evaluate numbers in Cincinnati, specifically over the Rhine and the West End. That date could change. If there's a spike or something changes, it could move back. It will not move forward. So we're anticipating June 21st at 10:30. We will welcome you back in the building. We will have the doors open, and we will be ready to go. We are going to continue evaluating these procedures as we go. This is phase 1. We don't know what phase 2 is yet, and we don't know when phase 2 is going to happen. But we are excited to be able to get back in the building together, to see each other, to be able to worship with one another, and to be able to enjoy the Lord together. So we hope that you will join us when you feel comfortable. Again, do not come a day sooner than you feel comfortable. We also hope that you'll join us on Bible study, and we'll see you in prayer. God bless, and can't wait to see you again in person.